organisation. So what the heck is leadership? What is it? Now, we had a research guy, prof, on universities take 4 years out to research leadership, and he came back with a file that big and said to him, give us a summation, and he said, leaders are people who have followers. Yes. He said, no, that's it. 4 years. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, so not very helpful. Accurate, but unhelpful. So leadership is not a simple thing. What would you call leadership? Well, don't answer me right now. What I want you to do next is in your pairs, if you could just talk to someone else about it, and then we'll take notes. What is it to be a leader? That isn't being a manager. So that's not easy. Now, obviously you're going to say, well, managers do this, they're leaders for that moment, and they're not. I get that. So it's not about the person, it's not between who is a manager, who is a leader. What does it mean to lead? When one is being a leader in that moment, what's the difference?
Coming back to your point earlier, our view is that managers will deal with the day-to-day stuff, which is slightly more factual.
Right.
But it will be a leader who will find out about things later when the clarity is required to make that overarching decision, which may affect more than just that particular manager's team, for example. So a leader will have overall accountability and responsibility for more than one manager.
So that, you said, what, a dozen things in there, you realise that?
Yeah.
One of the most important things for me in that is accountability, it's saying the buck stops here. You know, when we were with MOD, I was working with the MOD once during, glass loss in the fall of the war, before a lot of you guys were born, I guess. And there was this general was saying that he expects his guys to make decisions and stand by their decisions. And coming from the background of some of the guys that were there, it was all about loving people and fluffiness and stuff. And, and they said, well, yeah, but if they make a mistake, you have to support them, don't you? He said, no, I cut their heads off. He said, that's what I pay them for. Said, oh my God, what kind of a punitive environment is that? Thankfully, we're a little bit more advanced than that, but the reality behind it is that's what they're paid to do, is to take responsibility. And if they're not prepared to get, I don't know, told off, held back, sent on some remedial program, whatever it is, if they're not prepared to take the hit, is there someone that shouldn't be in that job instead? It's tough, isn't it? It's a hard thing to say. Kind of admired this guy and thought, he's not going to survive in the post-war environment, Anyway, what do you think about that? What do you guys think about taking responsibility?
It depends on the situation, I think. If you look at a military environment and you're in certain situations, you have to do that.
Yeah.
And there's got to be confidence in the people around you, and that's where leadership comes in.
There you go. And the system around you has to support the risk that you take, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah? But thankfully, mostly you guys are not involved with life and death. I know sometimes you are, suicides and all that sort. But mostly it's a commercial decision or an efficiency decision. Yeah? But still, it can affect a lot of people's lives. So this isn't a small thing we're talking about. Taking responsibility is a very important thing. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we came up with an analogy, as has been said before, about the structure. So maybe a manager operates within a more tightly defined box,
right,
whereas a leader is perhaps outside the box more of the time, selling the unknown and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Selling the unknown, I like that. Oh, that's fantastic. I've never heard that before, but it's just, I might write a book called Selling the Unknown. I'll have to bloody quote you now.
Being open to challenge.
Open to challenge. Lovely. So, we've got, sometimes we only think of leaders from here up, we're looking up at them. What's it like for a board to look down and say, is this guy a leader? Are they open to challenge? You know? Can I dump this on them, unfairly as it is, and trust that they'll do something with it and come back to me if it's not working? Yeah? So from a hierarchical point of view, if we look down from above leaders, I know that sounds crazy, because you expect leaders to be at the edge, but in terms of organisation, you look at leaders, can I leave them with uncertainty and they'll create certainty for them? Yeah? Workable certainty. You're worried about something, aren't you?
No.
No, you're okay. So what does that say is that you're actually in agreement is if you can't lead people really well, that's not the first expertise, but you've got this vision conceptualised and you can see a way forward, you're going to need to partner up with somebody, aren't you? You're going to need to get someone else to work with. That's your point, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And equally, if you're good with people, you haven't got a clue what the management is saying. I just don't get it. You know. But then you're looking for a partner who does. You know, so leadership is a collaborative thing often. It's rare to get someone who's good at both. You know, and they generally start their own business and make billions of pounds or dollars. Thank you. Thanks.